What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to do a video on this 2001 Yamaha R1 that I have, and just kind of do a review on it and really show you in how good a shape this bike really is. You know, if you saw some of my other videos, I drove about 12 hours one way just to get it, and as you can see, the bike's in like showroom condition. It's in such good shape for a 20-year-old bike. There's really not too many mods done to it, and that's the way that I plan to keep it. It does have the original stock OEM turn signals on it, and you know, some people might not be a fan of it, but you know, they are in really good shape, so I'm gonna just keep them on there. But the bike is just, I'm so happy that the bike is in such good shape and that I ended up getting this. And of course it does run, you know, mechanically perfectly sound and everything else, so very, very happy with this bike. I mean, even the rims are in good shape. There's, you know, a couple tiny little, you know, probably nicks from rocks and everything. It does have right around 30,000 miles, give or take, but I mean, just the fairings are in such good shape. There's no dents in the gas tank or, you know, any paint defaults or anything like that. And all the original OEM stickers from Yamaha from 2001 are over here, which is great. Seats have no rips in them. But I guess we'll go over some of the mods now. It does have a Two Brothers slip-on, which sounds pretty good. Obviously it's a little longer than most people like on their bikes nowadays, but I wouldn't be surprised if the longer can on this type model does give it a little bit more total horsepower, which I believe it would. You know, we got some simple little spools that I got on eBay for super cheap from China. They were only like $6, and the blue's pretty matches pretty good, which is great. I don't know what's, you know, how many, I don't know exactly if this is the original brake pads or what. They could have been changed out. Like I said, it does have 30,000 miles on it, so that I'm not sure of. I do have the OEM seat cowl that I bought from someone, but I'm just keeping the seat on there for now. But let's see, so besides the slip-on and the spool, you know, there is a fender eliminator kit on here, which looks nice. It cleans it up pretty good, and they didn't really hack up the stock tray, if you want to call it. So I was happy they did a good job on that. I do like the license plate mount with the R1 on it, and the color matching, of course. So that looks good. Let's see. I mean, just looking at everything, like the shock and everything, that, you know, paying attention to detail to all this stuff, and you know how good a shape it's in. You know, original swing arm sticker, so obviously the bike's never been down, and it looks great. I'm still blown away at how good of condition it's in, you know, especially the fairings for a 20-year-old bike. But I do have an Olin steering damper on here. And we have the, I believe this was the Graves mounting kit that I got for it. Obviously I did have to get a little creative, because as you can see, usually you would just run a stem mount right up in there. And you know, obviously you can't do that with this Olin damper. So, you know, I just got a, because obviously there was usually a bolt here that holds it down. I just got a longer bolt. I got a spacer. I got this tiny little ram piece. And then just to make sure that it would go over it and up. And it's in a perfect spot now, which is great. I do have an iPhone cord tucked in here, so if I need to, and obviously it's attached to the battery, if I do need to charge my phone if I'm going on a long trip, which is very beneficial. Definitely use it a couple times, but the phone mounts clutch. I know a lot of people like the quad mounts and all that, but you know, whatever one suits you best. just pick one and run it because they're all pretty good. So other besides that, we just have some engraved bar ends. See if I can get this on video. Probably gonna be hard to see, but yeah, you can see it right there. Yeah, so we got the chrome engraved R1 bar ends, which look great on here. And you know, that's about it for mods. There's really nothing else done to it. It's just in really, really good shape. So definitely happy with this thing. Get a good little walk around of this. You don't find too many in this year in this good a shape anymore. At least that's what I've been seeing in the States. So if you find one with the all original OEM fairings like this, I would suggest getting it, because it seems like, at least with the market now, that this particular year and the you know, especially the 98s, if they're in OEM condition too, the price on them still seems to be climbing. Obviously, they're probably starting to become a little bit collectible. Bike's got a ton of low end power, you know, right off of idle. You got that great low end punch and good mid range, and it has decent top end. For all you that are not aware, this is the last year that they made the bike carbureted, and the carburation is like flawless. I do hear some people saying, oh, well, you know, it's carbureted, I don't want to mess with the carbs. Well, if your bike is running good and you start it every now and then and ride it, and I get it, there's months, you know, in the winter, depending on where you live, that you can't really ride. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with starting the bike for a little bit and giving it a couple of revs just to keep things fresh and, you know, not really having the, you know, your fuel just sitting in there gumming up the carbs. And, yeah, it could happen if you let it sit for long enough, but like I said, just start it up every now and then. Obviously, if you can take it for a ride, that's your best bet. But, you know, obviously in the winter, I don't ride this thing, so. But yeah, such a clean bike, man. I mean, it's like everything about it is just in such good shape. Like even the perch and everything is just, it's like it almost ran off the showroom floor, literally. I mean, the tires are in really good shape. I just got them, I believe this year I got them. Or last year, I don't know, but the tires are like new. They're in really good shape, so. She's a beauty though, man. Like I said, it is a fun bike. It is nice and light. There's really not any electronics on here. You know, no ABS, no traction control, so it's really you riding the bike. You know, you don't have those little rider aids to kind of save you if you end up goofing up, so. It may require a little bit more skill. I mean, it's not like it's 200 horsepower, you know. I mean, obviously these things are a lot less powered compared to the modern 1000s today, but beautiful bike. This is where I got my battery tender thing, so I could just plug it in the winter. So surprisingly enough, this is a China windscreen on there, and you know, sometimes the fitment's off a tiny bit with those, but this one actually fit perfect. I got it a while ago off eBay, off of somebody, and you know, obviously it worked really good. You can't really see through it, but when you're tucked kind of full on this bike, you kind of see right over the top of the windscreen, and you still have good wind protection, so it's not really a big deal. Of course, you know, maybe at some point I'll get a like a light smoke one, just so that I could actually see through it if I wanted to, but it's been fine. I've done some pretty good speed runs on this thing. So yeah, bike's in awesome shape. Like I said, right around 30,000 miles, give or take. Take a look. I believe it's 30, 31. Let's see, I'm on the trip right now. Yeah, 31,000, and like I said, she runs great. guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video and this review on this bike. Like I said, bike's amazing, super light, ton of low end power. It's awesome for the roads. The suspension is, you know, it's nice and plush. It's not super hard, and it absorbs all, you know, the potholes and all that crap that, you know, the road has. So it's a great road bike. You know, it's probably one of the best bikes for like just roads that I've been on in a long time. And of course, you know, the other newer bikes are great too, but this thing's just, like I said, pure fun. Tons of low end right off idle. Beautiful bike. All right, guys, take it easy.